goals in the Premier League meeting in November came in the final half hour. Newcastle's first win in 5 games against City. He did knock them out in the third round of this competition just over a couple of years ago. Much higher stakes here tonight. Botman with a really well-timed sliding challenge to win the throw off Semenyo. They have to get there. That race had gone on a few strides further. He wouldn't have done, but just about timed it right and got a little ricochet in the tackle.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel.
That's the foul throw there by Hall. Gimenez, out to Chow. See what he was trying to do, but too much pace on it there. Ake, Bernardo Silva. Lane has looked pretty unfazed by things so far. Okay, until against Miley. On the ball, Bernardo Silva trying to thread that one through a gap that wasn't there for Haaland. Doku gives away the free kick, and then O'Reilly the save. Get the feeling someone's probably going to pick up a yellow card sometime soon, not necessarily for the challenge that they make, but maybe taking one for the team as such. Both think Gimenez is making a lot of this. See what kind of contact was there? Wasn't too much from O'Reilly, just kind of sticks his hip into it. Maybe a little bit off the forearm on the shoulder, but certainly no contact with the face. Likes to stir things up in the midfield though, doesn't he? Gimenez likes to rattle people. Various different tactics I've seen over the years. Been a mainstay in the Newcastle side in this competition this season, having played in every game. And a starring role at the World Cup for Carlo Ancelotti, Brazil. Referee seen anything in particular there? The card is out. I had my eye on that. I saw the body language of Joelinton. I thought it looked like he was just playing around initially, but really trying to stop him trying to receive the ball. Really puts his hand around the back of his neck, and then the reaction from O'Reilly causes the shove and then escalates from there. Better get used to that, O'Reilly. Joelinton's that type of player. He's playing the game right on the edge. Referee tries to nip it in the bud. Yellow card each for Joelinton and Nico O'Reilly. It's never good news for Joelinton that this early in the game in this kind of fixture. He's got to be really careful now. He's definitely liable to make at least another 1 or 2 significant fouls at some point. Teams have 5 matches between tonight and the second leg to come at the Etihad, which is on the 4th of February, so Wednesday night for the return. They will already know by then who they're going to face in the final, whether it's Arsenal or Chelsea. Makeup of the semi-final. This is just about the 4 best teams in the country right now. You can argue maybe over one of the places. Aston Villa, of course, have been sparkling this season, and Liverpool also among the top teams in the table, at least not there. But it is going to be a week of great games, and the final should be some clash as well, whoever gets there. Semenyo, heavy touch. Oh, great defensive work from Gordon, though, really was. Getting back to help. Lewis Haaland right back, left back out. Does a great job because Semenyo's driving at Hall. He's in a little bit of trouble. The moment he comes inside, Gordon's there. Well, Chris Kavanagh says this was a coming together. Not a yellow card worthy challenge. Fernando Silva went to ground. It's not a great tackle. Could say it's just a foul. Well, the Semenyo one was far more of a cynical foul and a trip, which deserved the yellow card. I think that one you could get away with just a foul and a talking to. There's a little bit of needle in the game at the moment. It might suit the likes of Nick Voltemade to come on off the bench and spice things up in the second half. He was one of a number of players who anyhow wasn't going to field tonight because they played the extra 30 minutes of extra time against Bournemouth here on Saturday, a game that went to penalties in the end. Miley, Bruno Guimaraes, Ramsey, Doku, Newcastle ball. Talk about who out of these two sides will get through to this year's final. They have met in the final of this competition before. Manchester City beat Newcastle back in 1976 thanks to goals from Peter Barnes and Dennis Tuer. Alan Gallagher netted for Newcastle under Gordon Lee. A side that included the likes of Alan Kennedy and Malcolm MacDonald as well. Of course they were winners earlier last season, but also reached the final in 2023 as well, before losing to Manchester United. Ball. Bruno Guimaraes into Ramsey. They always look for that quick one for Murphy. Murphy to stand it too close to Trafford. He never really got that half a yard, did he? Tried to just throw Aki, but he matched him all the way. Nathan Aki. Just to back up your point, by the way, about Joe Ellington, he's now received more yellow cards than any other Premier League player in all competitions. Yeah, I see him a lot. It's the way he plays, but his fixture is a bit spicy. He's now walking the tightrope, isn't he? Murphy. Trying to do a bit too much, but the chance is still there. Murphy. 9 to go in this first half. Very, very tight. Joe Ellington. Gordon. So much pace in these kind of areas, taken down by Nunes, and the yellow card is definitely coming out here. That is better from Anthony Gordon. That's what you want to see. Him isolating Nunes, seeing the space, knocking it, running, really putting him under pressure. It's the first time he's done it in the game. Look at the end result. It's a free kick in a dangerous area and a yellow card for Nunes, who's now really got to be careful. Plenty of space down the line, and he's got the pace. Gordon gets there first, and poor tackle from Nunes. Challenge out of desperation, given the situation he was in. A man who was heralded once by Pep Guardiola as one of the best players in the world in his then central midfield position, but since gone back on that and said he doesn't have the intelligence to play in that area of the field, and is almost exclusively used now as a fullback. Not quite what Nunes signed up for. Bruno Guimaraes. Ooh, that was under the foot there of Matheus Nunes, who I guess does his job, but it could have ended worse. I mean, it's difficult to deal with for Nunes, but it's a poor free kick for me. An opportunity to really put it in a dangerous area, but he just miscued that a little bit for me, Guimaraes. Newcastle players at the back of the area. Gordon sorting out his hair. Hammered in, away by Trafford, who's not the biggest. O'Reilly completes the clearance. Hall. Doku. Doesn't quite take that touch forward off his head. Here comes crashing in. Haaland's been a spectator in this game for Manchester City, but hasn't really had too much involvement, has he? At all, but how many times have we seen that, and he just pops up with the goal that matters. Wish they had a great chance there to play in Gordon.
Yeah. That's their best shout, Newcastle. It really is. That line from City is high, it's spread. They get anyone turned in that little number 10 position, and they're able to filter the right ball the right way in behind. City could be in a bit of trouble.
Hall. Again, getting a bit too confident when he wins the free kick. Given the pace that Newcastle have in that front three, Gordon, Wissa, Murphy, why do you think City are heading to play so high up?
They like to press, they like to supplicate teams, they have control of the ball a lot, so you're naturally going to be up on the halfway line because of that controlled possession in the Newcastle half, and then it turns. And then you're stretched as well because having the ball, you've got to make the pitch bigger, so the distance between everyone is more. That's got to be able to cope with that. Manchester City.
More ball forward. Straight to Trafford, who dispatches. Of course, there's one man to dispatch to if you're Manchester City. It's Jeremy Doku. All does really well to mop up. Miley. Knocked there by Bernardo Silva. Chow. And a sloppy pass. Foden. O'Reilly. Ake. Foden. Bernardo Silva. Tess Nunes well advanced again. Foden. 4 minutes left of this first half. Semenyo. Kusanov. Elaine. Foden. Ake. Put it in quickly, Botman once and twice. Ramsey sets Murphy away. Is he going to back himself here against Ake? Doku coming back, which is bad news. Very bad news.
That's good play for Doku. Just waiting to see if Murphy would go inside. The moment he did, he just put the burners on and got his body in there. So he just really wrestled back control of this game last 5 minutes, having lots of possession. I think Newcastle are playing in kind of surges almost, where they're happy just to retreat, get their shape, allow City to have the ball, recover, and then have 5 or 6 minutes of much higher press and higher intensity.
Big confidence there by Elaine. Botman to Hall. He's off on another one of his runs. I'm not sure Murphy was expecting him to come to it. Offside anyway.
The flag was going to go up, and he's just holding his hamstring a little bit there for Lee Murphy. That left hamstring. Didn't really want to sprint at that moment, did he?
Well, they left him out at the weekend. Eddie Howe said that it's just a game they could afford to give him a total rest in, given what was to come. Semenyo. High. Holland would have been the obvious target. Holland's body language, that of a frustrated man right now.
He's not got a lot of touches, has he? I mean, he doesn't anyway, but there's an abnormally low amount of touches.
Yeah, Holland's only had 4 passes in the game so far. Significantly fewer than any other player on the team, but understandable at the same time, given the position he's playing in this match, which still hasn't had a shot on goal.
It's been a good game though. You look at the stats and maybe think, oh, it's been a bit dull, but it hasn't been.
People say